Hello and welcome to our streaming this day. Wherever you are in the world, I want you to know that you are well loved and very special. I am so thrilled to have this opportunity to bring to you a life changing message, which is a continuation of what we started last week. Last week, we dealt with vision and we emphasized on how to create a vision. I mentioned some critical matters or issues that relates to vision, and today I'd like to take a little bit deeper and actually address on how to manifest your vision. I know many people struggle with vision. People ask, is it my own thinking? Is it a true vision? Is it a dream or whatnot? And I believe that this month, the focus on vision will help you to put your own vision in perspective or concretize your vision so that you see manifestation in your vision and the joy that comes along with it. As we talk about vision, let me quickly give you the basic explanation that I gave last week when I talk about vision. What is vision? I declare that vision is a mental picture of the future. A mental picture of the future. It also means an idea of what is possible but has not yet manifested. An idea of what is possible but has not yet manifested. So when we talk about vision, we're talking about something that is for the future, something that is ahead of you, something that you would like to see materialize in your life. Many of us wonder, who has vision? Is this something that I can have? Does everyone have vision? And the answer is simply yes. Every one of us have vision. Every one of us has vision. Vision is both natural and also spiritual. There are those who are able to identify their spiritual vision and also identify their natural vision. And also there are those who can identify natural vision but don't know what to do with spiritual vision. But let me say this to you. Every one of us have a vision. Even if you think you don't have vision, you have vision not to have one. Everyone has a vision. We all do. There are some things you think about which are not present. There are mental pictures that you have which, as you look at your life right now, is not available or possible. But these are things that you hope or you expect or you wish would happen. If you have that, then you have a vision. So if the question that is asked, do everyone has a vision, comes to you again, you can settle it. Yes, everyone has a vision, including me. We all have vision. But do notice this. The more open you are to creative ideas, and the more you are willing to act upon those ideas, are more likely for you to see your vision come to pass or your vision become a reality. If you have creative ideas and you are willing to act upon the ideas, when the ideas materializes, it is a vision that has come true. How to materialize or manifest your vision. Oh, I really want to be a watch repairer. I always dream of being a watch repairer. But I went to school to learn about maybe psychology. But I love to do this, or I love to sew. I can imagine my creative work in stores all over the world. You know, I like to write, but I am an engineer or a doctor. But you know, at my spare time, or when I'm stressed, and I sit down and take pen and paper, just things begin to just pour out of me. And I can see my writings. It's not only inspiring to me, but anyone who reads what I've written get inspired. And I can see my writing going to other places and touching lives. The moment you start doing that and you see it materialize, then what you thought was just an idea, which is part of a vision, which is manifested, basically it means you have brought forth a clear vision. When it comes to vision development, There are those who are successful than others. And the reason being, those who are successful usually when it comes to vision are those who have open minds. If you are an open-minded person, it is easy for you to try anything, at least for the first time. I say that there's nothing that beats failure more than trying. In life, you have great ideas, grandiose ideas. If you never implement or never act upon it once, that is just daydreaming. There are some things you are not even aware you are capable of accomplishing until you try it. There are certain things that is presented to you and you may frown and say, oh, what is that? For example, someone will present you a food which is totally different from your cultural food, and you may say, oh, what is that? It looks funny. And you may taste it with a very funny face. But the taste after, it's so different. It's, oh, I didn't think of it this way. The moment you like it, when you take another scoop, another bite, your expression changes from frowning to smile. Oh, I like that. What is that? It is someone who has actually introduced you to something you didn't know could be that sweet. But the moment you tried it, you realize that you like it. And there are people who get curious because of their open-mindedness. Somebody introduces them to something or they see something that gets their attention and they can't shake it off. They persistently have these thoughts, this dream, this idea. Why not try this? Why not I do this? And with time, they see themselves doing it, and eventually they're devoting maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Then it comes a time that they shift from their own training into something they're not trained for. But it is an idea that was born as a result of a circumstance. And here you see them moving along and manifesting this dream. Let me say this. There are many people that don't understand. When you see a person who is born blind, never for a moment think the person doesn't have vision. What the person may not have is sight, but the person has vision. Every person who is blind has vision. Let me say it again. Every person that is blind has vision. They may not have sight, but they have vision. And vision is more greater and powerful than sight. You know why? When you find a person who can't see in the natural, it doesn't mean the person does not have sight. It has vision to see things that you don't see. The things they see to you will be spiritual because it's out of your realm. The explanation of what they see will be totally different. So when you find a person who doesn't have sight and you talk to them, remember that their mind is so open. They create not only ideas, but they reach into zones and realms that is not natural. And what you say, if they can continue conversing with you or engaging you in that conversation, they'll make explanations that will make you ask questions like, but you're not seeing what I'm seeing physically. But somehow they have a mental picture of what you're talking about. That's what vision is. There are so many sighted people who don't have vision. You may have sight, but not have vision. When you describe something to a person without sight, and they have vision, they create or they have something, an image that they see, which is out of this world. It may not make sense to you, but that's a reality. So when you read scripture or you find people who who are walking without sight, never treat them as handicapped. You may have sight, but you may be the most handicapped person in the world. Do you know how many people, intelligent, smart people, successful people, who really don't have vision? They are the most we should concern about. And when you live in a life, or you're living in this world and you have no vision, guess what? You will perish. That's what the Bible says. Without vision, my people what? Perish. Vision will make you stay on. But without it, you will perish. You will dwindle. Well, so when you find a person who doesn't have sight, again, don't treat them as handicap. They have imagination that is greater than yours. The Bible says that we don't walk by sight, but we walk by what? Faith. If you're a person who live and walk by sight, you always judge everything by sight, and you'll be wrong all the time. There are some people who are convinced by what they see. The things that you are looking at, that your sight tells you to be real, they are temporal, honestly. Therefore, we are not looking at things with our naked eyes. We are looking at things beyond the naked eyes. If you try to hold, feel, to justify your vision, then you'll be wrong. But if you see it before you see it, then you are right. Because people with vision, who always manifest their vision, are people who see it, then they see it. You've got to hear it to hear it. You have to see it to see it. And if you have that vision, things about you changes. Let me tell you, in this life, it's all about vision. What is your vision? Do you have one? And if you have a vision, is it just a vision like a television you watch and you turn off? Or something that keeps you active, keeps you awake, keeps you going, that you cannot even shake it off? This is my vision. I had the vision when I was a kid, and I'm walking in the vision today. There were people who looked at me and people who thought that this is what I am supposed to be doing. But I'm telling you, what I was trained for is not what I do today. And my greatest fulfillment is not what I got a degree for. If you think your degree is your vision, it's not. Many times the degree you have is not your real vision. It is a vision of the people who pay your fees. There are so many people who have been sent to go to school and asked to do certain courses because they happen to be good with math or happen to be good with sciences or happen to be good with that. And parents who pay the fee says, this is a track you have to follow. They do it, they go through life, and it's like a roller coaster life. They go through, but they have no vision. They're just going through the motions. They are not happy. They dread to get up in the morning to go to work. They are sad because their lives are not fulfilled. It's routine. But there are some people who have vision, and yet they don't have anything material to show for it. Their happiness and joy is unexplainable. And listen, you can give them anything in the world. It will never stop them from fulfilling that passion, that vision that keeps them going. They love what they do. If you don't pay them, they will still do it. When you find a person in that sphere or a person on that track, then this is a person who is motivated by a vision. There are so many people who would leave well-paying jobs to do jobs that you would look at and say, oh, why do you do this? But let me tell you, they are just fulfilling their vision. Are you fulfilling your vision, or you are fulfilling somebody's dream? Are you fulfilling or manifesting your vision, or you are just in a state of confusion? There are people that, again, may not see things the way you see them, but never count them out. And let me say this to you. There are people who may count you out because they don't see things the way you see them, but don't let their attitude keep you from pursuing your vision. If it's a vision that God gave you, you can't shake it off and you can't pray it out. If it's a vision that God gave you, nothing can stop it. You fulfill it. As a young boy, I was told, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that, you couldn't do that. And everything that people said to me I couldn't do are the very things I'm doing to this very day. Eventually became like a challenge, not for me, but a challenge for them. For them, they are looking for you to fail. But for you, you see opportunity to do something you've never done before. If you want the results you've never had before, it's not just doing the things you've never done before, but implementing that which is a vision that you have, and you see the results thereof. We all have vision. If you don't think you have one, let me say to you, you have a vision not to have one. Everybody has it. We all have a vision. But are you able to manifest your vision? Are you able to develop your vision? Are you able to make sure that your vision produces the kind of comfort and joy that you can't buy in any store? Let me tell you a story about a blind man who received his sight. And in fact, today I'll talk about two blind men. I'll give you two examples of blind men. Listen very closely. If you look at Luke Gospel, chapter 18, verse 35 to 43, Luke Gospel, chapter 18, 35 to 43, there's a beautiful story there that I want to bring to your attention. Luke chapter 18, 35 to 43. It happened that Jesus was coming near Jericho, and there was a certain blind man who sat by the road begging for alms, as usual. And hearing a multitude passing by, he asked what it meant. All he needed was his ears. If you can hear it, you will see it. Whatever you hear is more powerful than what you see. It is a hearing that makes what you see real. That is why you have to be careful what you hear. Be careful not hearing the things that will destroy you. You have to give yourself to hearing the things that will propel you to greatness. What are you hearing? Some people only hear noise when others hear music. Some people only hear negatives when others are hearing positive. What are you hearing? Be careful what you hear. That's why you have to be certain the people you surround yourself with, who speak to you, are people who don't speak you out of your vision, or people who don't give you a negative dream that will make you that will compete with your real vision. Stick with what is right. Surround yourself with positive people who will provoke you and who will tell you what is happening. This is a blind man sitting begging. And he heard a commotion. People were walking by, and he said, "What's happening?" And they said to him that it was Jesus of Nazareth who was passing by. People always want to just take a glimpse at him. Who is this man of Nazareth? What kind of man is he? And what kind of works does he perform? I want to see this man. I am intrigued by him. I want to touch him. I want to feel him. I hear when he comes around you, he turns everything around. Your conditions will change. Your perceptions will change. Your concerns will change. In fact, he healed the sick. I hear he raised the dead. And he was able to feed thousands of people with few loaves of bread and fishes. This man should be a wonder man. So let me see him. There are people who only watch what is happening, and there are people who make things happen. People who are visionaries or who have vision, they are always manifesting results. So this man asked, "What is happening?" He said, "Well, Jesus of Nazareth is passing by." And he cried out immediately. He ignored the people and he cried out, "Jesus," and he added the right words to it, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Then those who went before him warned him that he should be quiet. But he cried out the more. There are those who will keep you quiet. The man was blind. Remember that. The man did not have sight. Remember that. But one thing the man had is he had vision. You see, the man was blind, which was obvious. The man did not have sight, which was obvious. But that did not disqualify him from having vision. The man had what? Vision. So he cried out loud, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And the more he cried out, the more he was told, "Just be quiet." Is your vision so loud that you can silence the multitudes? Is your vision that loud that you can tell the naysayers that I will speak above your voice? Is your vision that strong that no matter those who try to destroy it, no matter what they say, the screams, the loudness, you can literally drown them singularly because of the vision which needs to be manifested. He cried out, Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. So they said to him, shut up. But he cried out the more. And he cried out to the point where he was able to get Jesus' attention. And verse 40 says this. So Jesus stood still and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he had come near, Jesus asked him, saying, what do you want me to do for you? This is a mouthful. This is a man who is blind. This is a man who had no sight, but he had a vision. And the vision was, if he can get Jesus' attention, there will be a manifestation of his vision. All that he needed was a connection. All that your vision needs is a connection. You can connect with that vision mentally and with your words. If you can connect with that vision, you have a mental picture, and you start speaking, something would happen, because visions are for appointed time. It may tarry. Wait for it. It will come to pass, and it will not fail. So you have to write the vision, read it, speak it out. Make the vision clear, speak it out, and you'll be amazed the kind of results you will get at the end of it. You see, there are people who are considered extraordinary. Let me tell you, no one is born extraordinary. When you hear the word extraordinary, what it literally means is an ordinary person who is willing to do extra. Extraordinary people are ordinary people who are willing to do extra. Your vision will do extra. Your vision will go further than anyone can go. Your vision can go further than anyone can expect. Your vision can take you deeper than you think it's or know it's possible. When he cried out, Jesus stopped. He brought him and he said, what do you want me to do for you? And listen to what he said to him, that I might what? Receive my sight. That means the man had vision already. All he needs is a manifestation of sight. And Jesus said, according to your faith, that means you've got it. If you got a vision and you put faith to the vision, it will happen. Do you have a vision? What is the vision God has given you? If you have that vision and you have faith, it will happen. Let me say it again. If you have a vision, if you have a vision and you have faith and you are able to walk in the faith, declare that in faith, watch it happen, and it will happen at the record time. You see, what is impossible with man does not mean it's impossible forever. What is impossible with man, with God, all things are possible. So if some things are not possible for 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, don't call it impossible. Many times you say, well, in our thinking, in our culture, in our mind, this is the way things work. These are the things that you have been proclaiming will not happen. So you are seeing what you're proclaiming. But if you are living in a different realm, you have a spiritual vision and you have a natural vision, and they collide, the result is amazing. Manifestation. Don't allow your natural to convince you of supernatural. Let what is in the supernatural influence the natural. And when you have a vision, it is something that nobody sees. It's a mental picture of the future, an idea of what is possible, even though it has not manifested. You've got to believe it. You've got to have faith with it. Jesus said, according to your faith, according to your faith, according to your faith, receive your sight. And immediately, that's the manifestation. You see, vision with faith equals manifestation. Immediately, he received his sight. And what did he do? The man who didn't have sight but had vision, now got sight. Then he started what? Following Jesus on the way. And as he was following him, he was doing something that is amazing. He was glorifying God. Then all the people who told him to shut up, all the people who are telling you to shut up because your vision is too loud, because your vision seems to be too expensive, because your vision seems to be out of this reach. In your society, this is the way you're supposed to think. When you started glorifying God, they will start praising God too. But you have to start glorifying God. Then you will find out that they will be what? Praising God too. To glorify God is more powerful. So if you have a vision that God gave you, which is not given to you by man, and you start operating in the vision, people who don't like you eventually begin to praise you. They may not glorify you because you know who the glory belongs to, God. Because every perfect gift comes from God. So all the vision goes back to God. So when people are trying to glorify you, just put it upstairs. It doesn't belong to you. Yours is the praise. Because we all enjoy the praise. We want when you are praised. When you are acknowledged, it's praise. We want to be praised for the things that we do. Even our pets understand when they are praised. But we do not glorify them. We glorify God. So if you know that you have a vision and you begin to see the vision coming to pass, start glorifying God. Because if you start glorifying God, He will make sure that you are glorified. You see, the blind man had vision. All he needed was sight. But he had vision. The vision he had, the people didn't have around him. His vision was that if he can reach out, speak out, and portray the picture and tell Jesus what he sees, the mental picture is that I'll receive my sight. That means he's want to bring that vision into the natural, into reality, that I will receive my sight. And Jesus said, okay, according to your faith, be it done unto you. And then the man received his sight. There's another story that is very interesting. That is in Mark chapter 8. And I want to take you there quickly. Another blind man in Bethesda who got healed. I want you to watch this very carefully. Mark chapter 8, 22 to 26, very quickly. Mark 8. It reads, then he came to Bethesda, and they brought a blind man to him. Jesus came to Bethesda, and they brought a blind man to him. The first one we read, the man called out to Jesus because Jesus was passing by. He called him out. But this time, they brought the man to Jesus, and they begged him that he would touch him. Please. You know when somebody wants to beg? Please. Please, can you touch this person for us? Please. They begged him. So Jesus took the man by the hand. Because he didn't have sight, he took him by the hand and he led him out of town. Wait a minute. I brought this guy to you that he might, so that you touch him. That's all they were asking Jesus for. Please touch him. Jesus didn't touch him. He grabbed him and he took him out of town. Many of us, because of our limited vision, our thinking, we always plan ahead of time negatively how we want things to be done. This is the way it's supposed to be done. There are certain times people will tell you, this is the way you're supposed to do this, this is the way you're supposed to do this. You know what? Any man who puts on tie, the way he puts on tie differs from the way someone from a different place puts on tie. Because we put on tie differently. The way people put bow tie is done differently. There are some people, they have to do the tie a certain way. You say, man, I like your knot. But the knot will be what? Different from your knot. Because they have an idea of what they want. So when they put on the knot, he looks different on them. Many times people want you to stay in a little box and you'll be boxed in. Never allow yourself to be boxed in. If you're a visionary, never let people box you in. Because most of the boxes people set for you is their limitation. And they want you to succumb to their limitation. Never let anybody put you in their hole. Don't let anyone pigeonhole you. They brought him, touch him. Jesus said, no, this doesn't demand touch. And in fact, what I need to do, I have to do it away from all of you. He grabbed the blind man and he took him out of town. And when he took him out of town, listen to what Jesus did. He took him out of town, and when he had spit on his eyes, he spit on his eyes. The man need sight. Jesus took the man out of town and he spit on the man's eyes. Isn't it offensive? Is this what the people who brought this blind man expected of Jesus? Why will he do something like that? This is unacceptable. We didn't bring this man here for his eyes to be spitted on. We didn't bring this man so that you take him out of town. We left town to come to you. And we wanted you to do this, only touch him. And this is the result we expect to come out of his touch. Now here you are, you've taken the man by the hand, and you're walking the man out of town. And look at what Jesus did. He spat on the man's eyes, put his hands on him, and he asked him if he saw anything. When there's a spit on your eyes and a hand placed on your eyes, definitely there's no way you can see, because the man could not see in the first place. But Jesus was wondering, or Jesus was expecting the man to have a vision, so that out of his vision there'll be manifestation of sight. The man looked up and he says, yes, I see men like trees walking. How can a man who did not have sight even know what trees looks like? Are you getting it? How can a man who have not had sight may touch trees or may feed things but doesn't know how it is, but in his mind he has a picture of what trees looks like? So when he saw men walking, he said, I saw men walking like trees. How can you say like trees when you've never sighted a tree before? Guess what? Whatever the man was pronouncing or proclaiming is what he has in his what? Vision. That is a mental picture of what he knew could be. An idea of what could be possible, even though it has not manifested. That's what vision does. A visionary, which I'll come back to it later. I'll teach that later, next week. There are people who have visions, but not all are visionaries. And I'll give you the difference between a vision and a visionary. You see, this man said, I see men, but I see them as trees. And Jesus put his hand on him again. And he looked up. And he was restored and saw everything what? Clearly. So what the man saw, or what the man knew to be real by vision as trees, was true. Because Jesus did not dispute it. Jesus did not question him. He said, what do you see? He said, I see men like trees. Then he touched him again. And when he took his hands off, guess what? There was restoration of what? Vision. There are certain times you need people that can help restore your vision. And I hope my message is to helping you to have your vision restored. I am sent to touch your vision so it can be restored. That is the reason why I'm here. My job is to help restore your vision, not to beat you down, not to make you feel less than you are feeling yourself, not to make you feel like you're just a loser. My job is to place my hand on your vision and let you see things as clear as you have to see them, so that you will go about glorifying God and people will praise the works of your hand. Vision is meant to be manifested. Every one of us. You've got it. Every one of us, we've got it. So here, Jesus did this, and he told the man, now, don't go to the town. Then he sent him away to his house, saying, neither go into the town, nor tell anyone in town. What did Jesus do? He didn't want him to go back to the people who would doubtedly talk him out of his vision. He said to him, go home. Go home. Where is your home? Your home is your mind. Your home is your heart. Your home is with the people who will help you to glorify God. There are certain times you take your vision to people who will talk you out of it. And when you put your vision in the hands of destroyers, they will mess you up. Parents, there are certain times you take your own vision to your children who don't believe in it. And children, there are many times you take your vision to your parents who don't believe in it. You take your vision to the wrong person. They may have been concerned about you and brought you to get the help you need, but you realize that the help you need is more than what they were thinking. And when God gives you the restoration of your vision, don't go back to them. Go home. Go home. This is what vision does. I said I'll come back again and address the fact that you have a vision does not make you a visionary. I'll explain that to you in my next sessions. Now, let me quickly give you 5 points I believe will help you how to manifest your vision. 5 quick points, how to manifest your vision. And I want you to pay very close attention. I'll go through it very, very quickly. Make notes, and I guarantee you it will help you down the road. You may not like the way I speak. You may not like my style. You may not even understand me, but just make notes. I promise you it will help you down the road. I want to give you 5 keys that will help you manifest your vision. It works anytime, irrespective of your culture, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of your race, irrespective of your religious affiliation. Whether you're Christian, Jew or Muslim or atheist, it still works if you can only put it to pass. Because vision is not limited to a class of people or to a religious group. Vision is something that can absorb and actually can work in anyone, through anyone, and by anyone. Listen carefully and put this thing down quickly. 5 things that will help you manifest a vision. Number 1, you've got to know yourself. You've got to know yourself. If you want to be a visionary that manifests a vision, you've got to know yourself. Make sure that what you want and what you need is what you understand and not what people make you understand. People should only help you to understand it when you are confused by it. But you should know what you want and know what you need. In life, you should always know what you want and know what you need. If you have a vision, you should know what you want and know what you need. But you should know yourself. What do I mean when I say know yourself? You have to have your own identified values. Do you have values that can help God, safeguard you in seeing this vision manifested? You have to have your values identified. Identify your values. What are your values? What are your values? Know yourself. I know myself. I am not lazy. I am not negative. I believe in honesty and truth. I'm disciplined. You have to have some values. Know yourself. Know yourself. Know yourself by identifying your values. Number 2, know yourself by identifying what motivates you. What motivates you? What keeps me going? What is my motivation in life? We're talking about manifesting your vision. You have to know yourself. Number 1, what is my identified values? Number 2, what motivates me? What is that which motivates me? And also knowing yourself, you have to ask yourself, what is my personality type? Do you know your personality type? You have to know your personality type so that you don't go through circle and at times you pretend that your personality is not you and you take on somebody's personality. You should know your personality type. And don't let anybody make you feel your personality type. If it's negative, you have to work upon it. But if it's positive, don't let somebody talk you out of a positive personality type. You have to maintain it. You know yourself. And so again, to know yourself, identify your values. Know what motivates you. And you should know your personality type. Know your personality type. There are certain personalities that can hinder your vision. Know your personality types, and the things you have to work on, you work on. Know your personality type and know what kind of things motivates you. What kind of atmosphere motivates you. What kind of people motivates you. What kind of music motivates you. What kind of books motivates you. What kind of church will motivate you. What kind of business will motivate you. You should know that. Then also know how to identify your values. That's number one. Number two, to manifest your vision, you have to be passionate. You have to be passionate. You've got to be passionate. You want to achieve the end or the results of your vision, you've got to be passionate. You cannot be haphazard in any way. You cannot be hot and cold. You've got to be passionate. And you've got to demonstrate it, show it. The many people we call charismatic, they are not just charismatic, they are just passionate. When you see a person passionate about what they do, because everybody can be charismatic based on what they're passionate about. If somebody likes to cook, when you see them around food stuff, you see that personality out. They become charismatic around the things that they love to do. You've got to be passionate. Vision manifestors are passionate people. Passionate people. And what do you mean when you say passionate? I want to make it brief because of the time. You've got to see what you love. What do you love? You've got to know what you love. And you got to do what you love. Passionate. I love doing this. Even if I don't get paid, I'll do it. There are many of you who are in the wrong profession. You are paid well. You're making 6 figures or more. You're making good money, but you're not happy. You're not passionate. You dread when Monday comes. You are in the wrong field. There are certain times you may have exhausted a field. You're supposed to be there for 5 years, but you've been there for 39 years. Your passion is gone. Your vision for that place is ended. You're supposed to move to the next stage of life, but you're still in the same spot. Let me tell you, I have been right here at Life International. This year will be 36 years. It's just like I just got started. Why? Because I'm passionate about what I do. I'm passionate about what I do globally. I'm passionate. You can't stop me because that's my passion. I had this before I was a teenager. I had this before I got married. I had this before I became a husband and a father. I got this before I got everything that I'm doing today. So why should I lose my passion? I have that passion. Oh, you're very charismatic. I mean, and when you demonstrate your passion, you look 10 to 20 years younger. Maintain your passion. But when the people lose their passion, they drag themselves. They invite aches and pains. They're very miserable. They wrinkle when they're supposed to be brightened. I mean, things looks bad. You've got to be passionate. If you want to manifest a vision, know yourself, number one. Number two, you've got to be passionate. And the third thing you should do is you have to be willing to take risk. Take risk. The third thing is take risk. If you want to manifest your vision, you've got to take risks. Take risk. You don't sit in one spot and praying and hope things will drop in your lap. You've got to take risk. Anyone who does not take risk stays in the same spot and never go anywhere. You've got to take risk. What does that mean? You have to be courageous consistently. That's what it means. To taking risk means you have to be courageous consistently. Do things you've never done before. Do things you've never done before. Take risk. Some people are so committed to their vision that they'll use their entire savings for it. And it will come to pass. For those who are hoping one day they'll get into ministry or get into a position of spiritual leadership and help many people, if you're not willing to take risk, it will never happen. Financially, the same. If you're not willing to take risk, you are always, hey, I got to do this. There are some people who are stingy and they think they are conservative. You are not conservative. You are not saving money. You are so stingy, you are afraid that $1 lost is poverty. But you know what? If you want to receive, take the risk. Be courageous. Give, and it shall be given back to you. Good measure. It only gives back to you good measure when you are willing to what? Give. Be courageous. Take risk. If you are a visionary and you want to see the vision manifested, the first thing I said is you've got to know yourself. The second thing I said is you've got to be passionate. And the third thing is you've got to take risk, which means being consistent in your courage, or be courageously consistent. Number 4, if you want to see your vision manifested, take this seriously. Communicate that vision. Write the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk 2 and 3 says, write the vision and make it plain. So he that runs will read it. Even though the vision is for upon a time, wait for it. Though it tarries, wait for it. It will come to pass. It will not fail. Communicate that vision. Share it with others. And share it effectively. And also share it in confidence. Speak about the vision. This is the vision that I have. The vision is one day, after my children are out of the house, I'll go back and get my first degree. That one day, I'll build a hut in the village of Africa and I'll help people. Or one day, I'll go to America and help them to fix the political danglings and the confusion that is happening in America. I'll go to a place and help the people. Give them water. Give them running water. Give them wells. Give them medical assistance. This is my vision. That one day I will help the poor to find sustenance or a livelihood. I will help the weak. That I'll make sure that there's not a single child that is sold into slavery. There's not a single child that is molested. There's not a single woman that is abused. There's not a single young man whose masculinity is taken away from him. I am going to make sure that boys and girls are preserved, women are honored, men are respected, society is helped. I'm going to add something to society, and I'm going to communicate my vision to the world. Communicate it effectively. Do it with confidence. And if you can do these things, I'll tell you, you'll be closer to see your vision manifested. The first point, know yourself. The second point, be passionate. The third point, take risk. The fourth point, communicate. And the last point I want to make is measure results. If you want to see your vision manifest, you have to measure results. Know where you are so that you can know what to go, where you need to go, and where you have to go. Know where you are. I don't say know where you came from. Know where you are. If you want to maintain a vision, stop using the past. If you want a vision of the future, stop using your past, because the past shall hinder you from going forward and accomplishing the vision. Deal with the present and the future, not the past and the past. Measure your results. Know where you are and determine where you want to be. Next year by this time, if Christ tarries, I will do this and I'll do that. All in God's timing. Next time, next month, I will do this and I'll do that. There are those of you God has given incredible visions to. But let me say this. There are people who will come around you only to rejoice in the vision manifested. But at times they will say to you, listen, the vision is too long, curse it, and let's move on. This is what Job's wife did. He said, listen, curse God and die. And Job said, you are foolish. I'm not going to do that. The fact that I have been afflicted doesn't mean I should forget who God is. My life is in His hands. My future is in His hands. And I'm not going to blame God for my present circumstances. There are those of you that you are blaming God because of the COVID-19. You're blaming God for everything else. Yes, I lost my job. I lost my this. I lost my this. Don't blame God. God is a good God. Don't blame him. And if you need wisdom, seek wisdom from him, because wisdom comes from God, or men or women of God who can help you with sound wisdom so that your judgment will not be impaired. You've got to understand that God has a better plan for you, and it is goal that you will manifest the vision. And for the sake of time, I'll pick it up next week, and I'll tell you something. God has something unique for you. Don't forget, this Wednesday I'll do live. Share this message with your friends. Please subscribe to our various platforms. Share this message and like it. And I really want you to understand that our purpose here is to help you to live a very victorious life in Christ. Know that God is on your side, and know no matter how low you've gotten, you are not forgotten or written off, and that your future is brighter than your past. I also want to take this time to remind you that as this year has begun, 2021, and we are going through, think positive. Dream positive. Have a mental picture of the best is yet to come. Because all of the things that we've been through is just paving way for the better things that are to come. And God has not forgotten you. We want to invite you to Life International. And I want you to know that our doors are open. You are very loved and very appreciated. And I also want to tell you that at the end of this message, we want you to give generously in your tithing. You could go online. The information will come to you very shortly. And we want you to consistently give in your tithe and your offerings. And God will bless you for that. Now, I want to say this to Life International members. Also to our affiliates. And also our partners, associates, all over the world. Our members, our associates, and our affiliates. We want you to prepare yourself, because this year, God's willing, we are going to be stepping into our new Global Leadership Center. It is amazing. I'll give you a tour in a minute, and I want you to see where we are and how far we have come. This is a project that God put in our hearts many years ago, and it has now become a reality. It's now become a reality. And I want to thank God for each one of you, those who are members, those who are affiliates, those who are associates. I want to thank you so much for your generosity and your support, and also your prayers. And through your prayers, generosity, God has blessed us. Now, to those of you who are yet to join us, remember, Life Online is for you. If you don't have any place where you worship, you fellowship, join us, join our membership, join Life Online, and we'll be coming to you every week. And we have great leaders, great speakers, anointed men and women who will bring you the unchanging word of God. We also want you to know that we have people here who pray for you. We believe in you. We trust that God has great plans for you. And if you can share your prayer requests with us, we will be joining you in prayer. So go to lifeinternational.us or Life International RTP and send us your prayer request, your needs, and we'll join you in prayer. There's no one that God doesn't want, and there's no one that God will abandon. No matter where you are in life, what state of life, God still has a plan for your life. We love and appreciate you so much. And again, I want you to watch Life International, our new facility, as it's being completed. We're about 90% done. And very soon we're going to be going in there and launching it openly and let the whole world join us. They'll come from all over the world to celebrate with us. So we're counting on you to join us. Again, don't forget to give in your tithe and also in your offering. The announcement will come, and please follow through and do it generously and graciously. Father, now I bless you and I thank you for your people. I'm grateful that you've given us the opportunity to be in this atmosphere to hear your word. We know that vision, as you've given us, is not meant to be static, but is meant to be implemented. In other words, it is meant to be manifested. I pray that the vision you've given your people will be blessed, and that vision will not die, but that vision will materialize. In the name of Jesus, we bless and thank you, and we're grateful. Now watch as I take you through the Global Leadership Center right here in our new campus. Hello, my dear family. Today I'm standing right here at the Global Leadership Center. This is the building we've been looking for and waiting patiently for all these years. It's become a reality, and I would like to give you a quick tour so you see where we are and the place where you will be coming to very shortly, so that we can celebrate God's goodness and also touch the world with His love, and also train people who impact their generation. We've been talking about the Global Leadership Center, the home of Life International, for a long time. And we're all aware, because of COVID-19, everything slowed down. But God has been so good to us. In the time of crisis, in the time of difficulties, that is when He stretched forth His mighty hand, parted our Red Sea, and caused us to walk on the steady ground. We are about to come into this building not many months hence. This is where you as a partner, you as a member, and you as a son and daughter of this family can enjoy the blessings of God. We have been anticipating this day. So as we give you this tour, we will be coming to you from time to time to give you the up-to-date information, so you see where your faith, your commitment, dedication, and your giving is bringing us. I'm excited. So join me as we go further. Look at the space. Look at where we've come. Look at what has been done, what has been accomplished. This is a good sign that Life International is rising. Global Leadership Center, it's here, touching the world. It's now close, and we're going to do a great job. And I hope that your excitement would increase, just as my excitement has increased. Look at this, and look at God. It's all because of you. It's because of your love for His kingdom, your love for your church, and your love to reach this community and bring global transformation to many people. I am so excited, and it's again because of you, your commitment, and also your love for Life International.